Last night, Rylen, the defense wasn't at its best. Today, it was at its best. What was the difference with you guys today?
Just feeding off the energy of Emiley in the circle, honestly. We know Mullins is a good pitcher. We know it's going to be hard to score runs against her, so we have to do what we can with our gloves if they're making good plays as well.
Kay Nagley from TexAgs.com.
Emiley, just to go back and forth with another really great pitcher, what was that like for you?
I mean, it's postseason play. Jessica's really good, and I think going toe-to-toe just shows that we can beat almost anybody, especially with my team behind me. We didn't score a lot of runs, but they were making really good plays behind me.
And then just your thoughts on your defense and them having your back.
They were great. I was like, just keep getting outs. I don't care if it's a 1-0 ball game. I'll just keep throwing it to you.
Questions? Go to the back. Tyler from KBTX.
Yeah, Ryan, you've seen her a couple times now, but what is it like facing Mullins?
It's just pitch by pitch. She's pretty good. You just gotta learn to adjust. Even if you're getting out, gotta get out in different ways. Put a barrel on the ball. They made some good plays as well. I thought we barreled the ball up pretty well, honestly, and they just didn't fall. So hopefully tomorrow they'll fall a little more than they did today.
And knowing it's a possibility you might see her again tomorrow, does it help that you're familiar with this team?
Yeah, it always helps when you're familiar with another team. Seeing Mullins as often as we have, really, I would say gives us a leg up on what we think she might throw. So we just got to keep preparing for how she's been doing and what we can do to beat her.
Next question is Ben Peck from KAGS.
Question for Emiley. Emiley, on that same kind of trend, they've seen you quite a bit now. What's been the key for you to continue to have success, especially potentially if you do see them again tomorrow?
I was just thinking hit my spots, let the ball do what it's supposed to, and I know my spin can beat most people, so just continue to do what I need to do.
Battalion.
Colton Becker with the Battalion. Emiley, how would you assess, or what was your mindset going into the 7th inning?
Or strikes. Make him hit the ball. Keep it simple.
And Rylen, how would you assess your defensive play today?
Make plays. Honestly, any ball that was coming to me after last night, I was not going to mess up. I just wanted to get the outs and make the good plays when I could, because I know I can.
Robert Sessman from the Eagle.
Emiley, do you feel it helped you not pitching last night, getting a night off? And what about you guys not playing tonight? Do you feel that helps you? Kind of a two-parter there.
I think it's huge. Being able to see Shailene Lev throw last night was really good because we're going to need him. Mm-hmm. And I think having the night off, it's a really hot day, so go home, recover, and be back tomorrow.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, y'all are excused.
Thank you.
Great speed there, Miss Rylen.
I know.
Thank you.
Fun to watch
Right,
today.
something nice about me.
In other words, I'll try to spell your name right. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Coach Ford, do you want to have an opening statement or just go straight to questions?
I don't open. I'll do an opening. I usually do. So today was much better. I felt like we played our brand of softball. Obviously, you saw two great teams out there executing at a high level. I think our defense today, and we were actually, Lefty and I were talking about this, when you're in one of those kind of tight ball games and you have two really good pitchers, your defense is going to be the difference maker, and I think our defense was the difference maker today. Honestly, in the box, we hit some balls pretty hard, and it just they weren't falling, and so I was impressed with our ability to keep momentum on our side. I think the 12th man was huge today, and hopefully for an even bigger crowd tomorrow.
First question from Robert Sessman.
Trisha, very seldom is a game decided in the first inning, but I think a lot of us thought they were going to have second and third, one out, and then two-parter, then your two batters go deep in the count, make her throw a lot of pitches, and it turns out that they score the run in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know, and that's something we talk about. You never know at what point in the game it's going to be the point in the game, and so you can't take reps off. And that was some of my frustration last night, to be honest with you. And I just told him, I'm like, the standard is the standard. I don't really look at the scoreboard. I look at our effort and our focus. And when we don't have that to my standard, I go crazy. And so that's, really what my message was them is that this is what I expect out of you guys. And when you don't perform to that level, it's not about wins and losses. It's about holding yourself to this and committing yourself to this. not only for softball but for life. And so we had a little talk this morning before we kind of got going, and I just let them know, like, this is where I'm at, and let's go out and play our brand of softball, and good things are going to happen. And I think it did.
Next question is from Kay from Texags.
You always say you're a coach who loves pitching. How fun was it to just watch those two go at it today?
Yeah. Yes. Man, I feel like the other time that I saw that this year was when Vaughter and Emiley went toe to toe, head to head. But yeah, I thought, they just making pitches over and over. The changeup, I thought Lefty threw her changeup in some key spots. But I think, that's old brand softball, when it used to be 1-0, 2-0 ball games a lot. But a heck of a job on both sides, and just really happy that we ended up on top.
Let's go to TV row. And Tyler from KBTX.
Coach, just how much does it help being in this kind of position where you're in the driver's seat?
Yep.
Team's gonna have to beat you twice. You just want to win away from Super.
Yeah, I think it's huge, to be honest with you. I think today's game was the biggest game of the season, if I'm being very frank, because I think having to go into tomorrow, we have rest for the rest of the day. Teams have to go through and play for the rest of today, and then get back and come out ready to go again for 2 tomorrow, if it at all possible. So I feel good about it. And again, just for me, it just goes back to, like, when we play Texas A&M softball, a lot of good things happen, and I know what we're capable of doing. And so they put them in the driver's seat, which I think was our number one goal going into this regional.
Stay on TV row and go to Ben Peck from NBC.
Coach, what did you see from Emiley in terms of, it seemed like, early on they were getting some pretty good contact, and she's getting picked up by the defense, but it didn't seem like that phased her in terms of, not trusting her stuff and getting a little picky? Or what did you see from her to be able to just pursue that?
I think that's the evolution of Emiley Kennedy in a nutshell. She just kept working. She would come into the dugout in between innings and say, hey, I need to do this a little bit. And I would talk to her about, hey, I need you to hit this level instead of here. Again, you're just having different types of conversation. It's not, hey, calm down and don't panic and chuck the ball. It's, hey, let the spin work. Let's get into our body a little bit more. Let's make sure that we spread with this particular hitter. And so you're getting into pitching instead of, like, panic. And I think you've seen that all year. I mean, it's been consistent of her being able to take a deep breath, find her body, and then spin it. She knows at this point in time she's a really good pitcher, where I think in previous years she was hoping to be a good pitcher, and now she is.
And speaking to the evolution of Kramer Eshtay,
Yeah.
I know we've talked about her throughout the year too, but just what's it been like to see her kind of, someone I would imagine who transferred here with no assurances of maybe an idea of what she could be, but for her to elevate herself and be in a position to really probably make the play of the game. Yeah.
Kramer is just, she's a great fit for us. That kid works her tail off. She loves to compete. And she told me on her visit, Coach, if you coach me hard, I will rise to it. Like, that's all I want. I want to come out here. I want to compete for a spot. I know I'm not guaranteed anything. And she has lived up to that conversation. She's very similar to Allie Enright, to be honest with you. Just kids that want to come in, they want to learn, they love to compete, and they flourish here.
Let's go front row to Colton from San Marcos.
Coach, it feels like these games against Texas State always comes down to one play. There was the NCAA tournament game last year in the opener, then of course there was a midweek game this season now to this game. What makes these series so exciting, and why does it always seem to come down to just one play?
I think they're a really good team. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ricky, to be honest with you. I think that woman probably, not to my knowledge, but I'm sure a lot of people have gone after her because she is so good. But she just gets the most out of her athletes. I think, they're well coached. They're defensively. They have a system. So I just think they execute at a high level. I mean, look at how many years they've been in the top of that conference year in and year out. And I think the last thing is, all of these players have grown up playing each other, so they're very familiar with kind of who they are and what they do and how they do it. And so I think they get excited. I mean, there's a lot of Texas softball on the field when the two teams play.
So Kramer's throw, You know, she won at Mississippi State, maybe LSU best of the year, considering, or what? And
Yeah.
were you hoping that girl go to third in that situation?
I was a little surprised she went because she didn't get a good read off of it.
Put her glove on.
Yes, and then remember the baseball the guy that faked the catch, and then we did say we were going to implement that next year. We're going to practice it in the fall, but yeah, I wish I could say it was on purpose, but it wasn't. But she didn't have a good read, and what I liked was that Kramer stayed calm and just executed that. But that was, I think, it's one of the best throws we needed this year.
One last thing, what about Cannon taking that close pitch on 2 strikes?
Good hitters know the strike zone.
Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks.